Hi, my name is Dobson, and this is my family. I was born and raised in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I have one sister, Taylor. My journey through service has been unique and filled with adversity, but it has been an incredible one. Growing up, I wasn't particularly active in hands-on service, and it wasn't until high school when I joined the Girls Community Service Club at my school. As a member, we had a requirement to get 24 hours of service each semester. I would do different volunteer opportunities throughout the semester, but nothing was particularly fulfilling to me because I was just simply doing a few hours here and there for various projects. During my junior year, service really changed for me. One reason is that I joined the organization's leadership board and advocated for a new system to count hours. Instead of getting 24 hours for the semester, we removed the hour requirement and instead required every girl to pick an organization or project that they were dedicated to and serve there throughout the year. This marked a shift from an hour focus to a relationship focus. The second change in my junior year came from an experience I had as I would pass the same woman each night pushing a bike that was loaded down with all of her belongings up a bridge to our main street. Each night, no matter how dark and cold it was, I would pass her pushing her bike down the road. This experience started to make me hyper-aware of the homeless community in Spartanburg, and I felt this need and urgency to do something. I asked the dean of students at my school if there was anything we could do, and she sent me an article about a concept she had heard of, a free food pantry. Similar to little free libraries we often see, free food pantries are about the same size and are placed in a community for food insecure individuals to use. Just like a library, community members fill it with their donations, while other community members take what they need. I was in awe of the idea and after researching, discovered that there wasn't a food pantry in Spartanburg, and so it became my mission to figure out how we could make it happen. I spent the rest of my junior year writing a plan of action, creating a team to do it with me, and reaching out to anyone I could to request their help. My perfect location for the pantry was in a park in downtown Spartanburg. After pitching it to the city manager, I was incredibly disappointed to hear that the city wasn't interested in supplemental work. Instead, they wanted to focus on efforts that would get at the root cause of homelessness and food insecurity. I was disappointed to be told that this wasn't a project they were interested in, and so I spent the summer before senior year trying to find a new location for the pantry. Luckily, my church, which is also located in downtown Spartanburg, was really interested in making the food pantry part of their local missions, and in September of my senior year, the pantry was installed. I spent the rest of senior year doing food and hygiene product drives across my school, advocating for the pantry in the community, and going by each day to fill it. In addition to the food pantry, I became involved with a nonprofit in Spartanburg called the Homeless Period Project. This organization makes period packs for women's shelters, middle schools and high schools, and soup kitchens. I was really interested in their mission and started making period packs for the food pantry, which turned out to be quite a popular item. One week during senior year, I did a feminine hygiene supply drive and organized a period packing party in my high school where we gathered during lunch and packed little bags of products. It was very successful, and we ended up donating over 450 period packs to our local soup kitchen. The food pantry and my work with the Homeless Period Project is why I applied for the Bonner program at Sewanee. I have never found such a passion and fulfillment for service until the food pantry, and I knew that I wanted to continue my work in college. During my freshman year, I worked at the CAC and at the Grundy County Jail. I found working at the jail to be an incredible experience as I was exposed to a group of people I probably wouldn't have ever come in contact with, and it really helped me to have a better understanding of the community around Sewanee. I felt compassion for the women in the jail, and I looked forward to seeing them each week. We finished the course that we were teaching them right before spring break, and then we were sent home for COVID. Going home and quarantining was a unique experience for us all, and it was interesting to adjust to not being able to do service work. I found some fulfillment in the food pantry and would go by each week to drop off donations. It felt like an impactful act of service I could do during the pandemic because I didn't have to come in contact with anyone. Returning sophomore year was yet another adjustment. We were living in a bubble and were incredibly restricted by the service that we could do. The CAC became practically my only site because it is on campus. And then, during first semester of my junior year, I went abroad to Copenhagen, Denmark. I was really unsure if it was the right thing to do. We were still in the midst of a pandemic. The Delta variant had recently appeared, and I was choosing to willingly forego a semester at Sewanee, despite having the last year and a half of my Sewanee experience altered by COVID. I decided to go, and it ended up being the best decision I could have made, as I got to take the coolest classes I had ever heard of, travel, make new friends, and create incredible memories with old friends. When I returned in the spring of my junior year, I got right back to work at the CAC. It was a great semester for us, and we were able to emerge from COVID and engage with our clients a bit more. During this semester, we also worked on junior issue briefs, and my group researched on-campus food pantries. This research led David Gopaster, the former executive director of the CAC, and I to discuss doing my certificate capstone project with the CAC and center it on campus food pantries. I also got to work on another passion project my junior year. As a women's and gender studies minor, I was taking the senior seminar in which we had to complete a research project. My group researched the correlation between period poverty, which is the inability to afford menstrual products, and mental health among college-aged women. We surveyed the availability of products around campus and reached the conclusion that the university should be providing these resources to its students. We presented our findings to the Vice Chancellor's cabinet and were met with resounding success. The cabinet was interested in our research and agreed to install 4 machines throughout the library and dining hall. Reflecting back now, this feels like a very special parallel to my work in high school with the Homeless Period Project. Moving into senior year, I was enrolled in the capstone course for my Certificate of Civic and Global Leadership. I spent the semester creating my capstone project, which we are now using to implement on-campus student supply closet for our school. The supply closet will be a resource for any student on campus in need of food, hygiene items, school supplies, and eventually clothes. I've spent the past year doing the groundwork, drumming up support with partners across campus, networking with other institutions who have already done this, and creating a strategic plan that addresses funding sources and sustainability. I will hand over the supply closet in May, and it will plan to open in the fall. Throughout my time in college, I've seen an overarching theme of dedication and passion for gender equity and for food insecurity. These 2 issues have been present in high school and in college, and I hope to find a way to further my work post-grad.